I think that's the wrong intro. What the hell?
That's definitely the wrong intro, brother.
Let me try this again. I don't know what happened.
The Bears.
Because of the way they play the nickel corner here, and the nickel corner plays 88-85% of the snaps. He's got to be like part linebacker.
The Bears.
When you're in a scouting room, there's going to be differences of opinion.
The Bears.
Well, you're looking at traits, and number one, he tested very, very well.
The Bears.
Greg, why are teams wrong on quarterback evaluation so often?
Number one, it's a hard position to evaluate.
Former Bears scouting director Greg Gabriel talks football live every week on the Barroom Network. Also available on demand.
Look, I think it's a good time to be a Chicago Bears fan. There's a lot to be excited about. But let me tell you something. We are past the point of excuses. If things go sour, you have used up all of the patience that Chicago has to offer.
The following program is rated TV MALV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
We go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's done by Barflies for Barflies and all the other Bears fans out there. What's good, fellas? The Bears are rocking their throwbacks today against the Minnesota Vikings, so I had to pull mine out. It is Darnell Mooney, but he's doing his thing in Atlanta. Still got love for that guy and everything he did as a Bear. But yeah, I mean, Matthew Fulcheezy's in the Chad already says it. Fuck Minnesota. You know, it's our former teammate co-host jumped ship to this team when they drafted JJ McCarthy.
So is he coming on today?
No. I did not extend an invite.
Nice to get a breakdown for I forgot.
Well, he kind of went full heel mode.
Yeah, he's like a Minnesota Don Burr.
Yeah, he went full heel. So, I mean, I still got, I guess, love for that guy because of
I love Jordan.
You know, him as a person, and I like his draft evaluations. To jump ship over them drafting someone, that's kind of shitty. I mean, I don't love every move that the Bears make, but I'm not. You know, my quarterback got drafted to Tennessee. I'm not rocking Titans shit. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
It is what it is. But how y'all doing this week, man? Heartbreaking game last week, and we'll get right into it. But we'll hit intros first. How you doing, Tooch? What's going on, brother?
Well, I'm doing all right. I just, I'm busy taking care of my mom here. She's kind of towards the end of her life. My wife and I are really, working hard and just kind of, have a home care nurses and stuff dropping by all the time. And just been a little out of work, just she can't really walk that well. And, I have to do all the work, getting her in bed and changing all the clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
Bath and stuff. My wife's been a great help. So shout out to Mrs. Tooch. The Packers game. Look, I don't know what you guys, I want to ask you guys how you felt about Eberflus's, reaction about after the game, where he kind of said, well, I was satisfied with all the decisions I made, not trying to get closer, not getting it on the right hash, anything like that. And then, he talks about how, well, we're going to get through these struggles. And I said on Bare Their Souls that he created all the struggles. Him and Ryan Poles created every single struggle. And then they're going to take credit for getting through this hard times for all the shit that they stirred up,
Yeah.
So to me, I'm just like, I'm so done with this coaching staff that lost to the Packers. We should have won. I'm sick of almost victories. I know this about around this time last year was a 12-10 win against the Vikings, November 27th at home. We were at home in this one. We were in Minnesota. I'm sorry. We were in Minnesota. We stole a game from them. They beat us, won the first game, 19-13 last year, if I remember correctly. And today we get them at home again first. We'll see them again towards the end of the year. But the Packers game, I mean, to me, the defeat's all on the coach. Now, I don't know how long it'll be before Caleb Williams says, this knucklehead has costed me all these come from behind victories, because the kid put together a hell of fourth quarters in both the Commanders game and the Packers game.
Yeah. Well, I'll let KB do his intro, and then I've got this one was rough on me, fellas. Go ahead, KB.
It's been an interesting week for me. Your boy went and got that young snip job done on Monday, so it was you see that L from Green Bay, and you know what, man, actually pretty decent.
Okay.
Pretty decent. I went to work yesterday, which is fun. I took a little time off, but
there's no ache inside or anything, or
so it's if I try to exert myself, use some of those muscles that you didn't really realize that you use when you do stuff. Yeah, you kind of feel it, man. But it's been an interesting week for me. But the road recovery has been nice. I've been able to relax, man. I'm like I said, I'm healing up pretty well, so I'm not tripping. It's pretty. It is what it is. But just seeing that week, that game last week, man, I have to say this is probably the best game I felt Caleb played so far as a pro. And it'll be the first game I'll say that I actually was like, that's the quarterback I think we drafted,
Yep.
You've seen the miraculous, you've seen the accuracy, and shouts out to Thomas Brown.
Absolutely.
Shouts out to Thomas Brown.
Yep.
Simplify the game plan.
Yep.
Have wide receivers come across the field.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You seen the short routes. You seen players running curls. Players that should be running routes, they should be running.
Yep.
And obviously the players responded to him, because you saw even the screenplays, you saw guys blocking, doing their jobs. Obviously they responded to that offensive coordinator change very well.
Yes. Like I said, man, it's not hard to simplify something, man. Simplifying something doesn't mean a negative. You can simplify play calling. You can simplify an offense to go forward, man. And you've seen it. Like I said, we had a rare Cole Kmet sighting. I think that might have actually been, to me.
That was the most beautiful ball in the game.
I was going to say
he dropped it between the two defenders.
Yes. That has to be one. It's two plays in that game. That's definitely a 1A for me for passes. But it was a pass later on in the game to Rome that we needed in a clutch that was an absolute dime ball to the back shoulder, and Rome adjusted beautifully. You know what I'm saying that this was probably the game that my Caleb fandom is starting to come up for him. But other than that, man, weather's weather. Snowing out this way, y'all know. Fuck it, I hate it.
We had our first snow game on Thursday. I know the chat doesn't really like me talking about other games, but I got to tell you, when I was watching that game Thursday, I was like, I don't know if I want the Bears to be in the dome. When I see that, it looks so beautiful, and it's football weather.
It does.
I still take a dome.
I mean, yeah, me as a fan, fans, absolutely.
I'm too old to sit out there, man.
Go ahead, AC.
Well, Tooch, if you want to bring Chris in, I can't tell if he's ready or.
Give us a thumbs up, Chris, if you're ready.
Okay, so
maybe can't hear us.
This is why this one was so difficult for me. It's a myriad of issues. Obviously, I could go all the way back to the Colts game on 4th down when you tried an end around, and then of course the Commanders game, Tooch, and then this one as well. But this is the first one. We were putting the Christmas tree up, so I had the game on. I was kind of paying attention, but I was also putting the tree up at the same time. But Scotty was into it. My son, 13-year-old, he hardly ever gets into the game, but on that, I mean, he was really kind of watching and into it. And then that last drive when Caleb was dropping dimes and making 4th down plays and moving the ball up the field and just looking absolutely beautiful on that final play. And then we're in field goal range and there's 36 seconds left and there's a timeout in your pocket. And I looked at my wife and son and I said, why are we not trying everything we can to get closer? And Mallory was like, yeah, but I mean, we're in field goal range. I said, babe, we've lived through the double doink. Yep. Why are we not doing everything in our power to try and score the ball here? We've seen this. Scotty may not remember it, but I freaking do. So they line up for the field goal, and it gets blocked, as we all know. And Scotty's crushed, and I just look at him. I said, well, son, welcome to being a Bears fan. There's nothing more showing of a Bears fan than that drive to lead you up to beat the Packers, who you've lost to 11 times in a row.
Look what the game's done to Chris. He's standing on his head.
Yeah, he's all turned around, and then they blocked the damn field goal, and I was crushed for my son because
dude.
Like I said, he never really gets into it. He kind of watches, and he played, so he knows a little bit. Like, he'll be like, oh, they're in trips right or something. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go.
I'm trying to teach my wife about football, Bears football, and the first 2 games she's watched have been the Commanders and the Packers. It's like, I think she's done, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to it's just heartbreaking, man. and I think I posted on Facebook and X after, like, when is it our turn? And what did we do to the football gods? Like, did we sell our soul for a Super Bowl in '85? Because I just don't.
Yeah,
it sucks, Chris, how you doing, man? I think are you still dealing with technical difficulties? If so, I can put you backstage.
Does he have a wanker of the week?
I think we're struggling.
He might be frozen.
That really sucks. But yeah, I mean, it just sucked to see my son go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm used to the pain. I'm used to the pain, and to see him go through it, it's. Yeah.
There's no accountability with Eberflus, guys.
And that's another thing. I can't listen to him anymore. I can't. When he comes up there, doubles, triples, quadruples down on what he did, knowing like you didn't even have a second thought. And I wanted to say this. When I first listened to Thomas Brown talk, he reminded me of Mike Tomlin, but I didn't want to say that because as a white man saying that, some people might misconstrue it. You know what I'm saying, KB?
Look, bro, I was practicing my best Chris Watts just a second ago, but don't do that. Don't do it. Sir, speak your goddamn truth. All right,
Well,
man. Look, he sounded like Mike Tomlin, bro. It ain't
okay.
nothing wrong with saying that a coach.
I love
sound
Mike
like a coach,
Tomlin
brother.
too,
Well,
man. I wish
you
the
know,
Colonel
if I
give his
put
heart
that
back.
out on X, people are just gonna look at my profile picture and say, why is he saying that? You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I'll chill out and
You know, I'd have been the first motherfucker standing between you and a million people too. Like, nah, this ain't the guy for that, bro. He's not
I
that
know he
type.
talks redneck, but he ain't like that, bro.
Right. But it's like I said when we hired him, bro. Because to me that was a big hire. I didn't think we were gonna get, because to me he deserved a position of an offensive coordinator somewhere. So
yeah,
the man, he talks, walks. That's a tough man. That's an Alex Cross. If anybody ain't watched that show, watch the show. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we get a little lewd in this thing sometimes. Hey, man, genetics. My man said it. Sometimes my dick is just bigger. Hey, he walks like it, brother. Hey, I'm excited to see what he does this week, man. You're gonna have him going against a mastermind on the other side of the ball, of Brian Flores. And what positions does he put Caleb in to get Caleb out of these positions that we saw Justin Fields get put in last year, where you hold on to the ball for 2 seconds, hell, you're gonna be eating a shot to the face.
right.
But hey, man, the chess game is gonna be amazing, and if the inevitable does happen and Flus does get canned, where does Thomas Brown figure into this? You know what I'm saying? Right. And I feel like his journey, his road to glory in the college football game standards is starting now. So, hey, man, I'm pulling for that dude, man. If
Yeah, I know this is. I mean, some people were saying maybe we're jumping the gun because it was only 19 points, but it's what you see and what you hear. When I hear him step up to the podium, take accountability, and it straight up said there is no attaboys. We came up short.
Yep.
We went out there. I did see some positives. You know, the way we stacked play. We saw him stacking plays. We ain't seen that since before Nagy. Yep. Bro, when you come out in the same formation and the defense has no clue what you're running because you've done ran 3 or 4 plays out of this formation, it's beautiful. It's a work of art. It's an absolute work of offensive art.
That's how it needs to be done. I mean,
and I love it. I love every second of it. I love Thomas Brown. If they fire, I'm making my, and I told you this off air, KB. I don't know if I've said it on there. After Thanksgiving, fire Flus. And I have been on record as head coach Hightower. Give me head coach Thomas Brown, because not only did this man take over the offensive reins, they talked to him the day that he found out he got the job. He was already delegating things to other coaches on the coaching staff. Quarterback coach, you're doing this. Tight ends and wide receivers coach, you're doing this. So why wouldn't you want that man? If they do the thing that they have never done in their history and fire a head coach mid-season, give me Thomas Brown to run this thing. This guy was assistant head coach under Sean McVay with the LA Rams. So it's not like he's unqualified. He just hasn't been given a shot really, other than here and then last year in Carolina, which that was an issue from ownership down. You know what I'm saying? So
Carolina was a bigger shit show than we were last year. It wasn't no saving, no.
Remember, they also hired Waldron, though, Robert. Right?
Yeah, Robert. He did hire Brown, but he did not hire Brown as the OC right away.
Yep.
He hired him as the passing game coordinator. They interviewed him for the OC job, and then they hired Waldron. This is the same guy who hired Getsy and the same guy who hired Alan Williams. There's a litany of hirings and firings.
Because Eberflus is insecure with his job status. He hires people that aren't a threat to his position. You know, if he were to hire someone like Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury's been a head coach, man. It's just like, what are we doing with Eberflus, man? Cliff can take over, you know, or whatever. Any other person, you know, like that. But Eberflus after the game said, "Tough times don't last, tough people do." And it's just like, I groaned, man. I'm like,
I wanted to punch the screen.
You know,
we are 15-51 against the Green Bay Packers since 1992. So these tough times are lasting, Eberflus.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of my building.
Yep. Yeah, he's the worst. I mean, he's not a head coach. You know, he's a good defensive coordinator, probably. You know, the bloom is off the rose here in Chicago, though.
There wasn't no rose. That was...
the rose was already dead, though. To be honest, you know.
Fuck flu. Yeah, I mean, you look at it, man. Like I said, bro, I'm off the coaching, man. I said before, I can't pick this team. Yeah, I said we can't pick this team to win another game. And I said it, and the sad thing was, I said it last week. It kind of sucks because you have the chance of Thomas Brown coming in and looking nice for us, but that's one coach, and I do like Washington on defense, even though kind of got some background information on Buddy, and it's like I guess he's an asshole, but I mean sometimes you gotta be an asshole.
Harbaugh's an asshole.
Yeah, absolutely is. But I don't know, man. We got to figure something out. You got to figure something out.
Yeah, I mean the offense. You know, there were nice condensed formations. You know, used motion that was smart. He found the mismatches against the Packers defense. I mean, I really love. You know, we've been calling for stuff like that all season. You know, but can you imagine how the national media their perception of Caleb Williams would be if we had stopped the Hail Mary, let it come back there, and if we kicked the damn field goal. Flus has fucked up 2 of his, you know, he's costing him a national reputation. People be like, Caleb Williams really come. Instead, we're talking about firing a head coach, and everyone's talking about how great Jaden Daniels is, and Caleb Williams might be a bust. It's complete BS.
I haven't seen that so much this week, and I really liked what Rex Ryan said.
Because people are starting to wake up.
It kind of was the perfect scenario where your quarterback drove you down the field, put you in game-winning,
and the coach
and you still lose the game, so you get a better draft pick. Eberflus is another loss, you know, away from getting out of there, and you know you got the answer at quarterback. Robert Phillips does have a good point about the red zone D being number 1. Fellas, for a lot of this game, I don't want to give Flus all the credit, but he was out coaching the Flower early in this game. I mean, going for it in the red zone. You know, and then Jordan Love, of course, making the interception at the goal line, but then trying to run one. Like, dude, I don't know who you think you are, but you're not that guy, pal.
He didn't blitz enough because Jordan Love is 34th out of 40th of qualifying quarterbacks in the NFL versus the blitz. We blitzed him 3 times. You know?
But we, as Robert says here, we do have the number 1 red zone D. It seems like when those tight window spaces are there, we're able to fill them in decently. Other than when we have 12 guys on the field, how did we do that? I mean, like we're
also an injured defense, man. We might not see Thomas Brisker ever again. I mean, Jaquan Brisker. Yeah, Thomas Brisker.
I think Jaquan's probably thinking about retirement at this point, right? I mean, you have 3 concussions in 20 months. I mean.
Yeah,
I would be thinking about it, especially the position he plays and the way that he plays it. You know, he puts his body on the line the way that he plays the safety position, and
there's no big cuz in the middle to stop the run.
Nope.
Definitely missing him.
Definitely missing him, man. I mean, we lost Elijah Hicks. I think I don't have an injury report yet. I punched it up. I haven't looked at it.
I'll be honest. It sucks if Elijah can't go, but I've been wanting to see Jonathan Owens back there anyway.
Ryan Bates and Elijah Hicks are out. Amagaji's questionable, and DeAndre Swift is questionable.
I feel like Owens kind of plays
good, man.
Closer to what Brisker plays, where he's a hard-hitting safety. We saw it last year when we went up there with Justin Fields and he played for the Packers and he smacked him.
They signed Adrian Colbert back, so if there was any indication that either Brisker or Hicks were gonna play, then they wouldn't have signed Colbert, who's a decent player. Owens and Colbert will be fine. I just you do miss Brisker though. He's a hell of a player.
I think the D line's hurting in more ways than one because not only now we're seeing it affect our linebackers. Tremaine Edmonds, who is not his biggest issue, has been getting off blocks. But if you got Big Cuz in the middle, you know what I'm saying, taking up those blockers, and Javon Dexter's falling off as the season's progressed here.
He doesn't have Andrew next to him,
Yeah. So it's hurting our linebacker core at this point. And I mean, we heard Montez Sweat this week saying, well, we lost 4 games in a row. Yeah, I'm fucking frustrated. I mean, he feels maybe all alone out there at this point. You know, he's got a bunch of young guys who are kind of learning on the job. And then, of course, I still love Edmonds and Edwards, and I've got a Sanborn jersey. I love our linebacking core, but it is what it is, man. You got to have your D line, and we didn't have the depth at that position. You know, behind Billings, you had Zach Pickens, who you drafted and hasn't worked out, and they brought up is it Coward?
Coward, yeah, Coward
so,
or something like that, yeah.
You just didn't invest in that depth, you know, and now it's biting you in the ass. Now, if we go into the draft and we end up with Deion Walker out of Kentucky, you know, I may or may not have the jersey, but you know, it is what it is.
Of course. You know what I'm saying? Of course. Barely Smoke, man. Just update on Cuz. Cuz is doing good, man. Like I said, he's when I last spoke to him, he was like, man, he's getting to the point where the pain pills are not going to be needed anymore. And he was in high spirits, as far as high spirits can be. I can also tell you, I know he's not necessarily too happy with the losses either, but it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting on the side, and you watching that you need to be out there and you can't be out there. We all know how that feels, man. So other than that, he is doing good. Like I said, the healing process is going well. Like I said, he has a lot of love around him. You know what I'm saying? He knows that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, are sending their love his way. And he also wanted me to extend his love back to the bar room and everybody that's been keeping him in their thoughts and whatever. So, but because he's doing well, man. He's doing well.
Nice.
Berlusmo says Zach Pickens had a pretty good game. I have to go back and watch it. I wasn't paying attention to him. But
after the way it ended, man, I wasn't going back to watch that game. My DVR records every Bears game, but I just can't bring myself to go back and watch it again because we were right there, guys. We were right fucking there. Like,
yeah, I was like ready to walk off with like, you know, we got this one. Finally beat those MFers.
Eberflus is 5-17 in what is it, 1-score games. He's 0-18 on the road on
He's
Sundays.
By far the worst in NFL history in 1-score games.
Yeah,
I don't
know. Nobody close. The next guy's like 16 games ahead of him.
I knew immediately when we lined up for that kick, it was over with. So I'm not like, bro. As soon as I'm looking at the time, you hear was it? I think Brady that said it. He was like, "Oh, we're not lining up to go for another play." And I just kind of was like, "Yeah, what the hell are we doing?" And then just see the clock ticking down. I'm like, "Bro, like, is this like a 50-some yard field goal? Like, what are we doing
on a second down with a timeout?" Like and that's another thing about history repeating itself. Somebody put it out. I think it was CHGO put it out. The press conference after Trestman kicked the field goal on second down. And the press conference after Matt Nagy did this same thing where he was like, I'm good where we're at. Let's kick the field goal. And now Matt Eberflus, all three of those guys doubled and tripled down on their decision, on their stupid decision. I don't know what Ryan Poles, man. If you don't get this together, you're going to be out the door with his ass.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you love the guy. Maybe y'all can get an apartment together. I don't know. But
you got his number still? Shit, fire his ass and still call him. Fuck. Look, motherfuckers didn't broke up with their exes and still slept with them, man. You can leave this man. You can still have a relationship with him afterwards. It ain't got to be at the cost of all of us.
Bellissimo's got a good point here about the guards. I remember watching one play where Matt Pryor's pulling to the other side and his head's down the whole way. He doesn't even touch the guy he's supposed to hit. And I remember I seen him play. He running the ball, got hit for like a 4-yard loss, and I was like, "What the hell are we doing?" I don't know, man. I don't know. Y'all want to get into this game because we've spent the last half hour talking about last week. The Bears play at home again against Minnesota this week. They're wearing the throwbacks, which I like them. I miss the blue throwbacks, the 1940s throwbacks, but I guess the white ones are fine. It is what it is. I mean, my biggest concern is the defense for the Vikings has confused experienced quarterbacks.
That's exactly what he was thinking, but you can't I mean, look, Harbaugh faced the exact same situation. He ran the ball, and instead of fumbling or losing yardage or holding, there was a 27-yard touchdown run. And then
and that's another thing. Listen, I meant to bring this up. Now that he said this week, I know it's a different sport, it's a different level and everything. Mark Pope, the head coach at Kentucky, they asked him about I think the end of the game against Cooper Flagg or something, and he said the neuroscience of thinking of a negative play kind of causes a negative play to happen.
Yep.
What's the first thing that Eberflus said when they asked him why he didn't continue moving the ball?
Yep.
It was all negative. We could jump off sides. We could fumble the snap.
Fumble.
We could mess this up. We could mess that up. Instead of saying, no, I believe in my team to line up. And he said they were loading the box. Bro, then throw it. Caleb's been dicing them up this whole drive. I don't even care if it's if it's not there, overthrow it out of the back of the end zone. I just
check it out. I'm serious. Look at the fumble loss percentage. It's less than 1/2 of 1%. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at 100% for Cairo Santos versus 1/2 of 1%. That's the genius of Matt Eberflus. He's a dumbass.
Yeah. And this is that was from Get Up on ESPN, just so everybody knows. Yeah, I just I don't know. It sucks, man. We got to move on.
And Harbaugh faced a Hail Mary too versus the Bengals last week.
Yeah.
He called timeout. He called timeout and then he blitzed.
Yeah.
He blitzed freaking Bengals and they choked, man. If we would have, blitzed him 2 times in a row at the end versus Jaden Daniels, we'd probably come away with a victory in that game. We'd be 6-4 with the 6th seed for playoff position. If Eberflus didn't cost us 2 games.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda for a lot of shit, man. We should have fired Eberflus, but we didn't.
Yeah, he's costing us victories, man. That's the bottom line for me. He's costing us victories. But if you want to get into the Vikings, man, Vikings have a hell of a defense, man. They're number 1 in rush yards. They allow about 74 yards per game rushing. The league average is 120 yards. Now we've got DeAndre Swift, who's banged up. I think we'll probably see a lot of Roshan Johnson. Why not? He's healthy.
What would have been nice? Having Khalil Herbert.
Yeah. Yep. Would have been nice having Khalil Herbert, too. Yep. I agree, man. A 7th-round pick, I'd rather have him on the roster in case of injury. It just isn't worth it, They
like Travis Homer better, I guess. I don't.
Yep.
I think when it comes down to it, I liked Khalil Herbert, but he struggled picking up pass protection always.
It wasn't the greatest receiver either. Didn't have the best hands.
They couldn't count on him on 3rd downs, and then his first handoff in Cincinnati. I don't know what he's done since.
He fumbled.
His first handoff in Cincinnati, he drops the ball on the turf, and he's wearing 34 up there. So I'm like, damn, you just leave Chicago and rock Sweetness number. I don't.
Yeah, you can pass on the Vikings though, man. They're number 28th pass defense. So if we're gonna win, Caleb Williams has to throw.
Here's the thing about the Vikings defense. You got Stephon Gilmore as your CB1, who he's good, but he's like 35. So
hey, man, what you trying to say about 35-year-olds, bro?
I'm 36, and you don't see me out there trying to play NFL. The thing is, you put Rome Odunze on him, or I mean, if they want to put Keenan on him and kind of make it a nursing home over there, they can. But I would put Rome Odunze on him and try and make him figure that out. They do blitz a lot, which causes them to not have to be in coverage as long. But if you can see it, I don't know, man. If you can figure it out, if you can figure out the Rubik's Cube that is Brian Flores' defense, that they are susceptible on the backside. They're moving Harrison Smith all around like a roaming linebacker, center fielder. Just he does it all.
I was gonna say he about the same age as Gilmore, ain't he?
He's up there too, yeah. But
sheesh. But yeah. I mean, it's kind of I don't know. We got this syndrome with offensive coordinators. This is the part where I bring up my worry, where we don't do slants and we don't, you know what I'm saying, the routes that seem to make sense against certain defense we don't do. I'm praying that we see a little bit of a difference with Thomas Brown today, because you're gonna have to kill the Vikings with slants and not just go try to be screen heavy against a defense that's gonna be expecting screens.
That's what
It's gonna
Getsy did.
It's gonna have to be drop back 1-2 to get the ball out. That's what the offense is gonna have to be. I feel like Cole Kmet should be big in his game. Over the middle. We'll say this until we're blue in the face. That's kind of the place where he makes his living that we don't see it enough, especially this year. So hopefully we see a difference there. I seen Dennis Moody talking about Colin Johnson being elevated. Hey,
he did.
Yeah, Colin Johnson was elevated. Hey, we get into the red zone. Hey, that's a big 6'5", 6'6" body. Play big ball at that point. You get Everett on the field, just high pointed, a doomsday, fucking Colin Johnson, Cole Kmet. So if you get into the red zone, there you go. You got your big bodies, man. Go just throw the ball up. But today has to be that offense and rhythm, because if the run defense is as good as they're saying the run defense is, you down DeAndre Swift possibly. Hey man, that's gonna be running into a lot of loaded boxes. Yeah. We already know our offensive line ain't the cream of the crop. That's it. Ain't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't the sharpest pens was in the bottle or the box, however you want to say it. You know what I'm saying? We
putting pencils in a bottle. What are you doing over there,
listen, brother, you know the hell I mean. God damn it. our old line looked like the goddamn box of crayons that the one little kid in the back had that was chewing on crayons. It looked like, why
it's the island of misfit toys.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Why is my red chewed on? That's our old line. You feel me?
That's the Marines. They do that.
So, hey man, like I said, it's got to be get the ball out quick. That eliminates a lot of risk, and then it eliminates a lot of mistakes that could happen just by getting the ball out faster. So, I'm interested to see this chess game today.
Elevate any offensive lineman, because we're really thin. We don't have anybody backing up.
I don't think we have anybody to elevate.
That's what I'm wondering. We have is Larry Borum? Okay, he's still out there. So Ryan Bates is out with the concussion. So I imagine we'll see either Borum or Jake Curran at the guard.
Curran played well last week.
So if it's Curran, then we have one backup offensive lineman or two. We got Doug Kramer and Larry Borum. That's all we have, though. I don't see any other guys maybe that they elevated. I don't know. Let me look on the.
Man, that's another knock on Poles. He loved Ryan Bates so much that he traded a 6th-round pick for him.
Yeah.
And then the Bills, they had to cut costs. They ended up cutting half their offensive line. You could have just called Ryan Bates after he got cut and said, "Bro, drive on down here to Chicago." But instead, he threw a draft pick at.
Guess we have Amagaji too back, but he's questionable.
He's
not ready.
Draft pick,
no, he's not ready.
He's not ready at all.
A 3rd-round pick who's been injured, and when he did get thrown in, he didn't play well, and then got injured again.
That was a rough one. That was a rough one to watch. Yeah, he got beat like a drum in that game, bro. It's just like, get somebody else over there, bro.
You have to get home on defense. The pressure has to get home to Sam Darnold, because last week we allowed over 15 yards per reception versus the Packers. In fact, Christian Watson averaged 37.5 yards per catch against us last week. 4 for $150. We can't let him get
There's always one of them. Back in the day, it was, of course, Jordy Nelson. And then it went to Randall Cobb, which broke my heart because he's from Kentucky. Then it was Aaron Jones.
Donald Driver.
Yeah.
It's always
before
somebody.
you guys, probably. Yeah.
No,
I remember Donald Driver.
Sterling Sharp.
No, that's before my time.
Sterling Sharp would always kill us, man. He was so good, man. I wish he was on the Bears, man. Sterling Sharp was great, but he unfortunately played for the enemy. But boy, if he was a Bear, you guys would have loved him.
Tell me, Randall Cobb, brother. That's
yep.
But yeah, it's always somebody. And then now it seems like Christian Watson don't do nothing all year. Then he plays the Bears and drops $150. Like,
Man.
and I swear I don't care. Packers fans came after me after that game. That was not a damn catch. That ball hit the ground. How do you review it and still call it a catch? The ball hit the ground. Now Packers and I went on X and I was like, Packers fans gonna tell you that was a catch and Dez dropped it. And then as soon as I tweeted it, a Packer fan tweets back at me, go back and watch it. And I said, what's the first 2 words in your bio? First 2 words in his bio says Packer fan. And I was like, bro, you literally wrote the tweet for me. I appreciate it. But I went back and watched it again. Watched the old Dez clip. To me, it looked like it then, looks like it now. He caught it, fumbled it, and recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. But they say it wasn't a catch. I don't. They say his hand was under it because I didn't. It looked like the tip of the ball hit the ground, pushed it into his chest. But I'm a biased Bears fan, I guess.
Yeah, they probably were like, there's not enough evidence to overturn the call on the field. Yeah, unfortunately for us, yeah.
That's usually how it is.
We still should have won, but
exactly.
Bear Listimo sent me this after further review.
This dude.
Only thing he did was get a makeover. You know, he ain't.
The Bears fooling no one. The Bear doesn't fool me.
He has not improved anyone on the team. Not one person on the team has improved under his tutelage, offense or defense. You know, it sucks, man. It sucks being in this position. Like, we're going into today, another divisional rival where you feel like you are at a disadvantage at coach as soon as you get off the bus. You know, it just absolutely sucks. And all the players that are good and the coaches that might be good have to try and overcome the guy that's at the top making the calls. And Don Bird, man, he's having a day. His team, Sonic and Knuckles.
I think the Colts are a live dog, man.
I was gonna say it's nice when you
absolutely
finally get all the first round picks.
Absolutely not. The only bets that I've been hitting lately,
Lions to cover
a big ass spread, the over, which they usually hit by themselves. Yep. And then I'll throw in a David Montgomery, Jamar Gibbs, Amon-Ra, maybe the tight end for an anytime touchdown score. And
kill
the
shit hits.
Like, I throw $1 on that shit and make $25. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
It is what it is, bro. Yeah. Good on them. You know what I'm saying? They finally have a big day, man.
They did it right with the coach and the offensive line, built the offensive line, built the defensive line.
That's where you got to start, man. You got to start in the trenches and build outwards, man.
Yep. Poll's first 2 draft pick were defensive backs.
Yeah. I mean,
I still like Kyler and I like Briscoe, but you're right, man. Where we're struggling at is in the trenches, and that's because we put 1 first round pick into it, you know?
Yeah.
That's it.
Hopefully this next draft, you see.
Got a question there. Did the Bears win out? Did they keep Eberflus? Probably. Unfortunately,
they might lose out and keep Eberflus. Hell, no. I don't know, man.
I don't remember. Were we in striking range to take? So Ravi says I said take Sewell. Like, I don't think we were there for.
No,
that was at the top of the draft.
Yeah, he was picked 5th overall. Sewell.
It was between the only question was for the Bengals that year. It was either Penei Sewell
or Jamar Chase.
Or Jamar Chase, and they went with Jamar because he had a history with Joe Burrow. That was we didn't have any shot at him. Yeah, you can say what you want. I mean, I think there's a lot of. I thought we should have took Joe Alt this year, but guess what? We wasn't in striking distance.
Right. We should have took Joe Alt. We should have took a whole bunch of other offensive linemen too. I say all the offensive linemen names. Yep. Hell, we should have. If you want to say it, we should have took Buddy Ass out of West Virginia. Fucking Frazier. That's who we should have fucking took.
He's killing it in Pittsburgh, bro. And there's so many West Virginia fans that are Pittsburgh fans because of the proximity.
Yep.
That they love that.
Yep.
I'm just saying. But I mean, man, Just
Who
looking at this
laughed,
game
Don?
today,
Everyone
man.
thought Penei Sewell was a perfect pick. Well, I don't
Yeah.
understand. You feel like it's you against the world, but it's not, bro. It's not. Everyone knew that
Nobody
was the
looked at the
perfect
Penei
pick.
Sewell pick and was like, "Oh, this is a bad pick." Universally loved tackle, sir. You crazy? But
He said we took Claypool for the 33rd. I know that was a bad trade. That's a bad
yeah,
trade,
absolutely
man.
bad trade.
I called it out, man. I'm like, what the hell? Why a second round pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Oh
like,
man.
Now that we look back at it, that's
I got
that's
raped. I was like, I wouldn't have given him anything higher than a fourth.
Yeah, ain't that the pick they used to take Frazier?
They picked Joey Porter
Later.
Jr.
It was later.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay.
They drafted
good
yeah,
player,
Porter.
man. Look, I'd rather have Joey Porter Jr. than Tyreek Stevenson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, Stevenson allows the most separation in the NFL for the opposing wide receivers than any other quarterback. It's not close.
No.
I mean,
He's a good tackler, though. He's a good tackler.
Terrell Smith is taking snaps from him now at this point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Reddy Stewart takes snaps from both those guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if Reddy is ready, bro.
You know what? I wouldn't if worst does come to worst, man. I wouldn't mind them putting Tariq Stevenson back at safety to take your spot.
Yeah, he's probably better.
He hit somebody for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because when he got drafted, it was kind of brought up then. They said that he might project better as a safety at the next level.
I think you're right.
Shit. But moving to safety and
I
was gonna say if Stevenson continues the arc that he does, I mean that's a big ass fast.
Now's the time, man. This team is not going anywhere.
Yeah, I was
put him at safety.
So put him I put him at safety.
Yeah.
Well, Cheesy's got a good question. Will Minnesota get the running game back on track versus our Bears?
Great question.
Everybody
got Aaron Jones that they brought in this offseason. You know,
and he hurt.
About what's that?
I thought he got hurt.
I don't think so. He's on my fantasy team. He's been doing okay.
The Bears' offense has slipped to around 25th in the league versus the run. Yards per play, 5.9 yards per play on defense.
You mean the defense?
A rush yards per play, 4.8. The Bears' defense. Yep, we're allowing 4.8 yards per rush and 27 rushing attempts.
Yeah,
when you compare it with the Vikings, who are only allowing about 20 rushing attempts. So people aren't running the ball on Minnesota because you can't.
Well, some of that is that Minnesota gets up on you.
Yeah,
you know, with Jay Jettis or Aaron Jones.
Not lately though. They haven't scored more than let me see. Their offense has been sputtering a little bit recently.
Oh, they beat the Jaguars 12-7.
12-7, right? Exactly.
With Mac Jones quarterbacking them.
Vaunted Jaguars defense.
Yeah,
they haven't scored more than 24 points since they played. They lost to the Lions 29-31. You know, they put up 20 versus the Rams, 21 versus the Colts, 12 versus the Jaguars, and 23 versus the Titans last week.
Yeah, and the Bears have even. I mean, have we really been?
We're still allowing less than We're still allowing less than 21 points per game. Last week we only allowed 20.
I'm trying to remember what the Cardinals scored on us.
29. That was the last time.
The Cardinals put up the most points.
Put up the most points. I mean, look, the Bears. You gotta give the Bears credit for bouncing back against the Patriots because that was just an awful game. At home, we scored 3 points against the Patriots and let them put up 19 on us. But we bounced back. I thought it would be a close game. I didn't know. I think what I said, 2017 Packers. It's pretty close. It was 20-19.
Yeah, I had Bears +6, so I made a little bit of money on that. I was like, that's an easy.
I like the under today though. I think this game's like a 12-10 game again. 13.
Is it? You said it was cold. Is it snowing out there, KB?
It snowed a little bit early, but not now. It
should be all right. It's what 39, 40 today. I think
it's just that
it'll be nice football weather.
Yeah, it's like that ugly goddamn. It's depressing goddamn sky.
It's gonna be 55 here in Iowa today, so I gotta like that.
Yeah, man. Anybody ask you for your 55, bro? We ain't got it. All right, you know what I'm saying?
42 in Greg. Game time will be 47 in Chicago. That's not bad. No wind, no rain.
That ain't bad at all, man.
No, should be nice.
But I don't know about y'all. I'm a little worried defensively for this game, man.
Justin Jefferson, man.
Yeah, you got Jefferson.
He's a bear killer.
I don't know if Addison's playing or not. I don't remember because I remember seeing somewhere he had got hurt too. But I think that was in the same game that Aaron Jones came out of.
They don't have a lot of injuries. They got like 2 guys listed. And that's it.
Yeah. So if they're all playing and they're healthy, bro, the way our defense is set up at the moment, I don't know if we can get enough pressure.
Yeah.
Like I said, you got Montez Sweat out there. That's one dude, man. And like I said before, Sweat ain't no pure pass rusher. Sweat is more of an all-around defensive end. You need somebody opposite of him. Like maybe if they would have decided to try to sign Yannick Ngakoue again.
Yeah, let me break it down for you. Justin Jefferson's last few games versus the Bears. He's averaging about 10 targets per game. Last year, 8 catches, 135 yards. That was the second game, and then 8 catches for 104 yards. He didn't find the end zone either time last year, but
was that Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, in October 2022, he had 12 catches for 154 yards against us. He usually gets his 100 yards against us. That's all I'm saying. If we don't got to have Jalen Johnson matched up on him.
They don't, but that's the thing. They don't have Jalen follow him.
I know.
We run the defense kind of like Seattle did, where you keep players on certain sides. And I always hated that because I feel like you can exploit mismatches all day. I'm gonna keep my best receiver on this side of the field.
I'd put Jefferson on the side wherever Stevenson is lined up. I would
put him in the slot.
I'd put Jefferson.
They did that in Green Bay. That's what they was doing with Watson. They'd put him in the slot, and Kyler Gordon just couldn't handle him, man. And then the big play was on Jalen. Jalen just fell, man.
Oh yeah, Jalen fell.
That sucks, but
Jalen fell.
He definitely took that loss hard too. Dennis Moody saying what we said earlier, that Dexter doesn't look as good without Big Cuz next to him. Yeah, it's. I mean, when he's eating up blocks and you get a 1-on-1, you know what I'm saying? It helps you out. It helps everybody out. When he's eating a center and a guard, you know what I'm saying?
Every damn play. Every play.
And he loves that too. When I heard him interviewing with Spice Adams, and they did that interview and they was talking nose tackle, and I was like, man, that's some good shit right there. That was some good stuff with them talking.
Yeah.
But,
that shit had me weak, bro. Watch 96 with an open mind today. He must be talking about Pickens. I didn't
he had
know
a better game last week than.
Hey man, Pickens had all the talent in the world to be something great coming out of this draft, man. And because I watched a couple South Carolina games and seeing him just dominating, bro, and blowing up plays.
Yeah,
I don't know if he can find whatever he had while he was at South Carolina. He has the potential to be one of the best defensive linemen we have. And,
I liked when they drafted him. I liked him better than I did Dexter, because I watched both these guys play against Kentucky, and I watched Dexter had a pick, but Will Levis is going to throw you one. But I watched Zach Pickens absolutely destroy everything Kentucky tried to do on offense that year. So I liked Pickens better than I did Dexter. I thought they should have been a swap. Pickens should have been 3-tech, and Dex should have been nose. But
I don't. That's a coaching thing, because I nothing in your head said that the smaller guy should be the 3-tech. I like nothing, because when I seen Javon, I said, all right, that's gonna be who's backing up Big Cuz. He's gonna come in the game whenever they need to stop the run. It's gonna be him and Big Cuz, which works out well now when they're there. But no, Pickens should have been a 3-tech.
Yeah. It is what it is. But we're about an hour in. We really gotta. I know we didn't talk a whole lot about the game, but I mean, there's so much, and this is another thing about our Bears. There's so much background noise. How do they lock in to really play the game? Maybe they are just really good at not listening to outside noise.
Yep.
I don't know, but for me as a fan, it's difficult for me to focus on a game with so much going on behind the game.
They've won 5 of the last 6 from us, the Vikings.
Yeah, and it's become a low scoring, slug them out type game, even with the weapons that the Vikings have. And well, we didn't really have a whole lot of weapons, I guess.
Both teams' defenses have been really good the past couple of years.
Justin Fields kind of ran on this team a lot. You know, they ran on the Vikings defense quite a bit. Do y'all think, because Caleb, we saw him take off, that's how he loosened him up last week. Do you think maybe he takes off some, or
that's what he needs to do?
He has to.
This is the same feeling I had with Fields when we had the people saying, "Oh, well, the Bears' rush offense is so good," and you know all this other shit. All of that was just conjecture to me because you didn't really put in the actual piece that made sense with that, and that was Fields' running ability. Whether or not you called a run play for him specifically, or he dropped back and just took off. But you were getting big chunks and big plays because Fields was eating up 20 and 25 yards a damn scramble, or would get lucky on a break and run for 12 yards. So you've seen a little bit of that last week with Caleb. But, oh my God, not the Temu chat. Gee.
I said this the day when they showed the after halftime interview against the Cardinals, and they was like, "What'd you say to your team in there, coach?" And he said, I told them that the score was what the score was, and we got each other. And I was like,
"Oh yeah, it pissed me off
idiot."
As soon as he said that, I said, "Oh, that's gonna be on every streaming platform that says anything about the Bears. We can burn his ass up."
Can you imagine? You know, your cousin sitting in there, KB, trying to get ready to go to war out here. And that's what his leader says. That's what his general who's leading them into battle says. That the score is what the score is, and we have each other, fellas. Like
now, listen. Okay, I'll say this: if it was said a different way, then maybe. You know what I'm saying? It's power in the way you say things to people. You know what I'm saying? So if it was hey man, you come in and he's going the fuck off. Like this game shouldn't be as close. We need to do better. We need to have each other's backs and be a better team than what we are. Yep. Yeah. And then if he just came out and was like, "Yeah, that's what I said," but I don't know if that's how it was said. I'm just saying, if it's power in the way that you say things to people.
That's true. If he sounds in front of the team the way he sounds in press conferences, there's
an ass. He needs to be fired.
I don't know how he came into an interview talking like that and sold him like all Dan Quinn had. It was between him and Dan Quinn. All Dan Quinn had to do was go, "Look, I took a team to the Super Bowl. I have a relationship with Kyle Shanahan. That's the offense everybody's running. Take it or leave it." And they said, "I think we like this Eberflus.
We got Matt Eberflus, man. Look at this guy."
That's a fumble too, bro. I don't know what made you think the first time head coach over Dan Quinn, and y'all let him leave. Oh,
yep.
We just do it all the time, bro. Whoever the secondary coach is that they always look at, they need to start hiring because, good God, Arians, Quinn, goddamn, you let Cliff Kingsbury go to the Commanders. What that guy? Come on, bro. To me, that shit still don't make sense. I'm sorry, that don't make sense to me. Look. Fuck the damn game today for the moment. How do you know that you getting Caleb Williams? You know that he's going to be the pick that you have. You go talk to Cliff Kingsbury. More likely, man would have took the fucking job. You go talk to him, and afterwards you say, "All right, man, yeah, we appreciate you," and you leave him like, "Hey, man, let's go get Shane Waldron." No, that don't make sense. It does not make sense.
Like I said, Cliff Kingsbury would have been a threat to Eberflus's head coaching position. If that's the problem, if things went sour with Eberflus, which they have.
If that's what his issue was, then everybody should be fired from the top down because that means he's not worried about winning.
That's why Lovey let Ron Rivera go.
Yeah.
Back in the day, was back when Lovey was coaching.
Old Riverboat Ron.
Riverboat Ron was let go.
I heard him on Pardon My Take a couple weeks ago, actually, and that was a eye-opening interview. He talked about how Buddy Ryan would kind of was coaching him up to be a coach as he was a player, and talked a lot about. He said John Madden's the one that made him Riverboat Ron, because his first season he was very cautious, as a lot of defensive minded head coaches are, and he said John Madden called and said, "Look at your close games. What's the difference?" And he's like, "Well, I could have gone for it here. I could have gone for it there." And he was like, "That's what you need to do. You need to follow your gut." So he's not a fan of analytics. He's a fan of following his gut and, living with the consequences one way or the other. I would much rather that to what we have, just giving up, just giving up and saying this is good enough. You should never be satisfied, especially against the Packers, man. Especially against the Packers. It's I don't know. PZ asked earlier, how's Minnesota's offensive line? I know Christian Darrisaw's out for the year, but they went and traded for Cam Robinson to fill that role at left tackle. I don't know a whole lot about their offensive line other than that.
At the time, they were like 6-2, and they went and got him.
Yeah, we know the weapons that they have. Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold. He's kind of some games he looks.
Vikings are 8-2 now.
Yeah. Some games Sam Darnold looks pretty good, and some games he looks like the old Sam. I mean, against the Jags, he had 3 red zone interceptions, I believe, which is what made that game so close.
This morning, in this morning's action, this is kind of interesting. So, yesterday the line was Bears plus 3.5. It's moved to Bears plus 4. So action's coming in on the Vikings. Vikings -4, and the over under was 39.5. It's moved to 38.5. I really like the under. I bet it at 39.5. So action coming in on the under, which I think is, I said before, I thought the under was a pretty good bet today. Last 2 games were 32 and 22 points respectively. I don't see a lot of points. When was it when we played the Patriots? I said the score at halftime would be something like 6-3. It was 3-0 Patriots. So I mean, and again, I said the game against the Patriots felt like a game that the Bears should win, but will probably lose. That turned out to be true. That's the worst game I've ever seen the Bears play. I think in a long time.
Yeah, it wasn't a fun experience.
We're not into it. The Commanders Hail Mary just chopped their legs off. Like they couldn't play for shit. And then they they kind of bounced back a little bit versus the Packers. Only to be have the rug pulled out from under them by their head coach. But Vikings. We're not going to be able to run the ball. We got to get DeAndre Swift out of the backfield, receiving. It's going to be tough to run the ball. They'll try.
You don't think Roschon Johnson can do something against their defense? I mean,
nobody's been able to do anything against that run defense, but I would like to see them try, but I think they're going to give up and they're going to put the ball in Caleb's hands. I'm not picking the Bears to win this game. They may keep it within 4, but last week's this is a flat spot for the Bears after that deflating loss against the Packers. I mean, I'm hoping they can get some rah-rah juice from Thomas Brown, which seemed to they get at before the Packers game. They got a little dead cat bounce after Waldron was fired, and Thomas Brown came in and had the team pointed in the right direction offensively. I don't know. They have to get really creative. I think if they're going to beat the Vikings, we need to see like a trick play somewhere. Fake.
Well, go ahead and give me a score prediction, a bowl prediction, MVB, and then I'll go to KB, and then I'll close this out.
Yeah. Let's see. So, this is about an implied score of 21-17 Vikings with the total at 38.5 right now and a 4-point spread. That feels about right to me, man. I think it's a 21-17 game. I think it's a little lower. I'm going to go 2016 Vikings. I don't like it. I mean, I'll be rooting for the Bears. The team, we're injured. We're a lot more injured than the Vikings. Our defense is not as good anymore. We're 25th against the run now. We're 5th. We're top 5 against the run the first part of the season.
Yeah.
It's just that a lot of that, the hits principle went out the window on the run game.
They took the S and put it on the other side.
Yeah,
what they did.
Exactly. I think I'm going to go with my wanker of the week today would have been Eberflus again.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
If we're going to win this game, it has to be like Caleb and Keenan Allen, something like that. Dunze, those guys got to step up. Cole Kmet,
I keep calling for Komet.
Can we get Komet involved?
On the
team. We'll probably see like Hawkinson go off, but
they like to use him a lot. They used him a lot with Kirk. He force fed him.
The guy you got to stop is Justin Jefferson. I mean, Aaron Jones always kills us. He's a little banged up though, and DeAndre Swift has got the groin injury. I mean, these are all bad signs for the Bears. I'm still gonna say Caleb Williams would be my pick for most valuable player.
Yeah,
2016.
Scroll says he expects the Bears to win comfortably.
I hope so, Scrolls. I'll be rooting for them. I do not like their chances today. That we're out coached.
Yeah, every game.
Every game. Yep.
Every game we're out coached. And when that means when you stepping into a game, you already coming in with them with a lead. You know what I'm saying, in a race that you didn't even know that you was a part of. So how I'm seeing this, man, like I said, I've already told y'all, I'm not picking us to win another game as long as Flus is the head coach.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how much Thomas Brown comes in and adds to it. It's a fucking Sunday. Yeah, absolutely.
It's Sunday and Eberflus is our coach. That's bad. Two bad signs.
I was looking more along the lines of like 27-17 with the Vikings. I'll say this would be one of the higher point totals. This is the offense that to me, outside of the Lions, scares me the most. For whatever pension, we have a reason to let average to below average quarterbacks go off against us. So I expect Sam Darnold to have a day. We don't have the pass rush to get to him.
Brock Osweiler's undefeated against our Bears.
Goddamn right. So I don't expect our defense to really have a good showing. Now, God damn, is that a super chat?
Yeah.
Lord,
cheesy. Nice.
Football. If there was football guy, wouldn't Alice all be one of them?
Yeah, for sure.
He one of them guys that got put in the back that they had to chain up. They was like, man, look, y'all winning too much. I got too many goddamn Hall of Famers. We gonna go ahead and let somebody else come to the forefront real quick.
Yeah.
So we just trapped behind that dungeon wall. That's all it is with the one.
George Hallis saved the Green Bay Packers and sold his soul for a Super Bowl trophy in 1985. And we're still paying for that Super Bowl.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. I don't know if y'all seen the background story now between the Mufasa movie and the correlation it has to the Lion King and how folks are mad because how it's making the Lion King look. Hey man, I feel like we're Scar. We were set to be the king of the goddamn pride. Now, we went and saved Green Bay.
Yeah,
that Green Bay is playing Mufasa. Now they didn't just mosey their way all in, and now we looked at as the assholes and the evil team. It's bullshit. That's what this shit
is. It feels as a Kentucky fan, looking at Green Bay, Chicago, it feels awfully Louisville-y to me. No matter how good our team is, we could have a Super Bowl roster. For whatever reason, we just can't beat that team. We just can't do it, and it doesn't make sense. But that's what it feels like. And it makes me have empathy for Louisville fans for only a second, and then it sails down. So,
But I mean, before I went off my tangent, my bad. I'm saying, like I said 27-17 Vikings.
It doesn't get any easier. The Lions on Thursday.
Yeah. And going for 4 days. Yeah, I don't know.
This will be like, the Bears lose a close one here, then they get blown out in Detroit. That's what I see.
That should be fireable.
And then Black Friday, Eberflus is fired.
Yeah. That being said, I
save this clip, guys, for KB and me predicting this.
Hey, I called KB the night he went to Cuz, and visited with him, and told him the same thing. I think after Thanksgiving, it's over.
I think it's over after that. But I'm gonna say this, man.
Now, first said Jahmyr Gibbs had 116 yards against them, but now Jahmyr Gibbs is another level. But
he's special.
I mean, maybe if they got a hell of an offensive line too, though, they got the best offensive line in the league, so that helps too, I think. But sorry, KB, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Are you good, man? But I'm gonna say, man, I give my MVP today to Rome. Just because, man, I hope for a good game from Rome. I hope that Rome continues to have an upward trend. Hell, I don't know. But he might be leading the team in receiving yards. I don't know. I had seen some YouTube video that was like
think
the
I saw
Bears
that too.
receiving leader, and it was like Rome. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I can tell you in a second here. It's Roma Dunze with 479.
There you go.
Well, we still got Caleb sitting at 9 touchdowns, right? We need to get that. He's got to break that rookie record, man. That's sad that our rookie record is like 11.
Yeah, it's sitting at 9. AC.
Yeah. So
he'll get it.
I pick up Rome to be MVP today. But I don't think this is going to be a good game for us. It'll probably be a slugfest in the first half, but then you start to see health take precedence, and our team just kind of just. I mean, it's two really bad losses within a month and a half.
Yep.
The Hail Mary and the goddamn block kick, yeah, bro. If they still got any fight left in them,
yep,
kudos to them, because that shit's deflating.
Yeah, if they lose today, I think you're gonna see a real deflated team on Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all want to go ahead and hit shout outs, I forgot to tell you to do that.
Oh yeah. Oh man, shout out to everybody in chat always, bro.
Yep.
Always.
Yeah, great chat today.
Great questions. Ravi man, that was Ravi that threw in that super chat, right?
Focheezy.
Yep. All right, my bad. Focheezy, man, we appreciate that, bro. Hell, nobody has ever asked for anybody to put money up for anything. So we appreciate the hell out of y'all, man. Appreciate you boys getting on. Hopefully, man, we can figure out what the hell's going on with C-Dub's laptop. Yeah,
Focheezy nailed it, man. Well, this is the Murderer's Row, the gauntlet part of the schedule.
But
every game except for the Seahawks and 49ers.
That's why you had to stack wins at the start of the year, and you blew it.
Yep.
All the winnable games we lost.
We should be 6-4, but for our dumbass head coach.
It is what it is. But shout out to everybody in the bar room, man. We love y'all boys, man. Y'all doing your thing. Y'all always doing your thing, man. And you know, you get your boys on here, man. Hit that like button on the way out, man. If y'all in, it don't take nothing but a second.
Yep.
We ain't asking y'all to do nothing else. It just helps with the algorithm, gets our show out in front of other people, man.
Yep.
Other than that, man, love, peace, and hair grease, man. We love the hell out of y'all, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
You're so damn smooth, KB.
Every once in a while.
Get your shout outs, man. And I'll finish this out.
You froze? Me? No. Okay. I thought you said KB. My shout out to you guys, man. You guys were great today. Chat too. Aldo for making all this possible. The super chats from Focheezy and everyone else got some super chats during Bears State of Affairs on Wednesday. Want to shout out my partners at Fantasy Football Goon, which is coming up soon, and partners at Weekend Sports Betting Tips. Got a couple. Let's see. Do I have any prop plays for today? I like Brian Robinson over rushing yards. Chuba Hubbard over rushing yards. That's about it. I'll give some more out in Goon.
Awesome. I'll start out with our score prediction. I feel like this is a low scoring slugfest, fellas. Yep. I just got that feeling, and I don't know if history's telling me that or what. With all these weapons on both sides of the ball with Vikings and Bears, you would think this would be a high scoring affair, but for whatever reason, it never is between these two teams.
Yeah.
So I can't, like you said, KB, I can't pick the Bears to win until A, they show me on the field, or B, they get rid of the clown that is our head coach, Eberflus, the snake oil salesman who sold Ryan Poles and the McCaskies a bill of goods that just never came to fruition. So give me Vikings 16, Bears 13. So Bears,
right.
If you got Bears at plus 3.5, you're good, and they cover, I think.
Yeah,
but I just don't feel like I can't pick them to win, man. I've been picking Cole Kmet to be my MVP, and they have ignored him completely. So maybe they're listening and saying, "To hell with AC, let's show him what we can do." So for that reason, and for the reason that I like the way he runs the ball, give me Roschon Johnson as my MVP. I think he runs in a touchdown this week. we get down there close and they trust him. They put the mini fridge back in front of him and hope he hits somebody because he didn't do that last week and Roshan scored anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my MVP. Shout outs to my bowl prediction. Well, I guess I can't do it now. I was thinking coming into this, I was gonna say both teams get a pick six because they like to turn the ball over and Flores' defense is difficult.
Yep.
But with my score prediction, I can't do that unless we miss the extra point. So
hey, could happen. We had a kick block.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to the chat. Matthew Pilchisi, thank you so much for this super chat. Anybody else that ever wants to throw one, I will not discourage you from doing so. King Buka is in there. The Scrolls, Bellissimo, the Bare Necessities was coming hard today. Robbie's been in here. I think he was in here before I was again. This dude cuts the lights on at the ballroom every week.
I did want to say when we walk in.
Yeah. I did want to say a special a special Barfly Tailgate show will be Thursday morning. Our usual time, 10 to 11:30 ish. We'll talk Bears Lions. I'm sure Don Burr will be in there digging at all of us Bears fans. But at this point, man, I don't feel anything. I'm numb.
Where's
to
Don Burr at? Now I'm gonna say this, Don. If you want to come on the show, bro, we'll send you a link just to get you on the show.
Yeah.
Hey, my DMs are open on X if you want the link.
DMs are open, Don. All you gotta do is reach out, man. We'll let you get your shine in that game. But I'm saying this: come in and y'all find a way to lose. I will be unbearable, sir. I'm just saying.
I feel like we all will. But until Thursday, like, comment, subscribe to the Barroom Network, and to tell you when we go live. We usually go live every Sunday, but this week is a special week. I had to clear it with the wife, and she said it was good. We were good to go for Thursday morning. But definitely happy early Thanksgiving to everybody, and we'll just leave everybody with a bear down.
Bear down.
Let's hope this plays the right